I've been making this tomato bisque, or cream of tomato soup, for a long time. It's a tried and true recipe. Perfect for cold weather or multiplied to satisfy that holiday lunch crowd that gathers when your family is together. It was the first meal that I made for my boyfriend 35 years ago. And he must have liked it. We've been married for almost 34 years. My mother taught me to make it with milk and cream, the dairy kind. So, when we went plant-based, I revisited the recipe and I veganized all of the milk and cream right out of it. Paired with a dairy-free grilled cheese sandwich, this soup makes a delicious, quick and easy plant-based meal. Welcome back to Comfort Food Farms, the plant-based home cooking channel. If we haven't met, I'm Kari Greger. I'm glad you've joined us. Let's get into it. Here are all the ingredients. This soup goes together very fast, so I'm just going to introduce them all and then we'll throw them into the pot. I have 1 tablespoon of chopped sweet onion and 1 teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half of garlic, minced garlic. These items are to taste. You could add more or less as you like. Here we have a 1/4 cup of water. Next, we have 1/2 teaspoon of oregano and 1 tablespoon of minced fresh basil, or you could use 1/2 a teaspoon of dry basil. 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, the vegan kind, salt and pepper to taste, and 1 teaspoon of sugar, agave or honey. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and 1 can of petite diced tomatoes with the juice. That's 1.5 cups of diced tomatoes. Next, we have 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 1.5 cups of almond milk with 1/4 cup of almond cream or coconut cream. When you make it yourself, you have total control over fat, salt, and sugar. Now, this recipe has salt to taste, and it recommends adding a little bit of sweetener. That's totally optional. It's the way we make it. It's the way we like it. It's the way I've made it for a long time. It's what we're used to. So, if you have managed to cut all the sugar and salt out of your diet, great. You will not miss it one bit in this flavorful recipe. Is that good information? Give me a like below, subscribe, and ring the bell so you will know when another recipe is posted. Okay. We are going to saute the onions and garlic first, and we're going to do this with no oil. Just put it into a hot pan, medium-high heat, put the lid on. Let it go for about 30 seconds, and you can see it's starting to brown up. This is a non-stick saucepan. I'm going to add a little bit of the water or the vegetable broth, whatever you're using, to the pot and stir it around a bit. See, we're starting to get some browning. That's going to add a lot of flavor. Put the lid back on and let it steam in its own juices. There, now we've got some really nice browning in there. And all this with no oil. I'm going to add the rest of the water and finish cooking those onions and garlic. Next, we're going to put in the basil and oregano. Stir that in. Oh, it smells so fragrant. Next, we have the vegetable bouillon powder, the salt and pepper, and if you're using sugar, or whatever sweetener you're using. Tomato paste. I'm glad I showed you the ingredients beforehand because over the stove it's very hot. So, stir in the tomato paste and then add the diced tomatoes. Stir this to combine everything, and then we're going to bring this mixture to a boil. So we'll put the lid on. While that's coming to a boil, I'm going to make the sandwiches. I've made this lovely whole wheat bread, and we've got our delicious cheddar spread. Cheese whiz in a jar. Perfect with tomato soup. 1 minute later, it's almost there, but not quite. We want to see it boiling. I'm going to let it go for a little bit longer. I put the sandwich into the toaster oven. That's one way of getting it to grill without adding any oil. There's the soup, and over here is our lovely cheddar spread. Now we have a really nice boil. The next few things are going to happen very fast. We're putting in the baking soda. The baking soda it fizzes up. It reacts with the acid in the tomatoes, and this is what keeps the milk from curdling. So once that fizzes up and stirred in, now we're going to add our milk cream combination. If you add the milk straight to the tomatoes, they will curdle. That acidity in the tomatoes makes the milk just go like cottage cheese. This makes it smooth. I do like to have my bisque a little bit smooth. If you like to have the tomato chunks in there, then you don't have to do this step. You can either take it out and put it in the blender, or I've got this immersion blender, and I don't do it completely smooth. I still like to have a few chunks in there, but this does make a nice smooth bisque. And we let that come up to a boil. Looks like that has been boiling, so I'm shutting the stove off and getting the sandwiches ready. This lunch is ready to be served. Yum! This looks really good. It's a little thick. I probably could lighten up on the amount of almond milk cream that I put in there. Dilute a bit with water. Now that does not need any words. That is so good. And sandwich. You must have a grilled cheese sandwich for dipping. Now that's a good lunch. If you found the information in this video useful, give me a like below. Next video, I'm going to be making another comfy, hearty soup. It's called Spicy Mediterranean Lentil Soup. So, while you're down there, click the subscribe button and hit that bell so you will know when that recipe is posted. Thank you for watching.